I got to do a procedure on Monday.
Oh, okay.
The colon thing. I don't want to do it.
I turned 50 and all downhill from there.
I know, right? Exactly.
Uh,
Can I pull this down too, please?
Absolutely. God, thank you. I got in trouble for not wearing one when I was here the other day. So,
Right.
Okay, so what we're doing is we like to get stories of people that have gone through the process and are working for us or working in another organization or something, and they suggested you because you've gone through the process. And we want to have somebody that's from this store. Mm-hmm. So when we do the ribbon cutting, you're going to do the ribbon cutting. You'll be there and chop that thing, and I'll have it online on the website, and then we'll have a little display stand with a briefer copy of it, mm-hmm. with a photo of you. So I'll have to get one of those before I leave. Okay. But just want to get a little bit of background. So, what were some of the struggles that you had?
See, it's always hard for me to get a job because I always have trouble. I have reading and writing. I can't really write hardly nothing. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Putting down on paper because I don't know how to spell.
Is it a disability or?
Yeah, it's a disability though. But you know, I tried to get on.
Is it like dyslexia or something different?
I always had problems in school, and you know, and they didn't address it back then. You know, because I am like 35, right? Right. And and they had me in classes, so you know, but they didn't have. I don't think they had the IEPs back when I went to school.
What's an IEP?
Like you need extra help.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I do have a learning disability, okay. And it's very hard for me to fill out paperwork and express. I'm trying to explain my learning disability. I work the best with hands-on. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not the fastest person in the world.
Sure. If you were you working anywhere after school?
Well, I worked at I had a job like McDonald's and stuff like that, Long John Silver's, and eventually I got in with a school, being an attendant on the handicapped school bus. Okay. I got lucky there.
Where'd you go to school? Is it around here?
No, I'm not from around here. I'm from actually in Fairfax County.
Oh, okay.
I went to, first I went to Edison, and then they said I was too classified for regular LD, so they sent me to Edison High School in Alexandria, mm-hmm. And they put me in these classes. It was a very easy A-B. I was like a 6th grade level, but because I was young, I didn't like to be in those classes because there's a lot more people than me was handicapped. Mm-hmm. They had they had extra special needs, and I did.
Right. So you're not seriously handicapped,
but I am.
But you're up here, not as bad as some of them are. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough position to be in.
Yeah, it is.
So they tried to mainstream you at that point, and then you just start missing things and being left behind.
Yeah, and I got, I was that age, Yeah. I didn't want to be in there, and so I skipped a lot, and then when I turned 18, I quit like an idiot.
Yeah.
So
Have you gone back?
Because I always have dreams.
Yeah.
Every once in a while that I went back to school, and I'm like so old in my dreams, and I always end up quitting.
Mm-hmm. Have you talked to who do you work with Horizon? Is there a case manager or something that you work
I
with?
don't have one anymore
No? Okay.
because I went through the program and then
Right.
Goodwill hired me as a regular employee.
Okay. I didn't know if they'd be able to get you into a GED program, so.
Maybe, I don't know.
That'd be cool. If you could do that, that'd be great. It's a nice little
Okay.
goal, reaching that goal.
Yeah,
You
it's
feel
just
good.
like my biggest problem is reading and writing.
Mhm.
I can read better than I can write.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, then you were down there, and then how did you wind up at Hagerstown or Berkeley or Jefferson?
Hmm.
When you were down in Northern Virginia, how did you get to working
This area.
working with Horizon?
Well, I didn't start. I moved to West Virginia here several years ago,
Right.
and it's hard to get jobs. And I had a lot of things going on with myself, and I couldn't. I did some things I wasn't proud of with Walmart,
Mhm.
and it was hard to get a job still, you know. So I ended up going to Spokes. That's her phone. I ended up going to Spokes through DHHR, and then I got into a place that couldn't work. I lost my license and and lost my place to live. Somebody let me live. Me and my daughter lived with them here behind here, and then I stayed there for Corona since the Corona was going on.
Mhm.
But I was with this. I don't know if you know about this program with Jobs and Hope.
Is that a West Virginia program or?
It was a newer program.
Okay.
So she got me into. At first, I filled out an application here.
Who's she? You said she got you into.
Jobs and Hope, my caseworker.
Oh,
Jobs and
okay.
Hope.
Who was that caseworker? Is it somebody from Horizon or is it?
No, it
Oh.
was through Jobs and Hope. Her name is Erin.
Yeah, okay.
Because first I put out an application myself, so she didn't call me. So then Erin with Jobs and Hope got me into the program with the training and all that good stuff.
Right.
So that's how I got here.
Okay.
I like it here. It's kind of tough at times because of corporate. Want so many things now,
I'll cover that up.
But I like it here. It's just like
So
it's the hours. and
some of the training that you did through us, what kind of training did you go through?
I went through, they taught me how to do the register and the other things they have here, just like a regular employee. I was always here on time,
Sure.
and I usually always here. Sometimes through this year, I had a little bit of problems because of my life
Right.
at home, moving somewheres, and then doctor problems and my health problems, and then my son had to call out several times, and now I'm like a little bit on probation,
Yeah.
so
Okay. Did you train here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I trained
So
here
I wasn't sure if they'd sent you up there.
well, I had to go up for a week. I had to go up there, do a bunch of different things for a week up there in Martinsburg by the store.
Right.
I went there for a week.
The Martinsburg Mission
Yeah,
Office.
yeah, I went there for a week.
Okay. Who did you work with there?
Christy,
Christy. Okay.
yeah, but she went somewhere else. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
It's been a year or so ago.
No, I started in January.
Okay. I started in
this year.
February. I was right behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been here since January, and you're working the register, or you working the
In the back here?
the donations
No.
or anything? No.
No, I don't do
So
that.
you went right in as a cashier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Started as a cashier, yeah.
How do you like dealing with customers?
I have good customer service because I used to work at the Home Depot, and that's all they do is customer service.
Right.
So that's where I learned from, and Ellen always compliments me how I work with the customers. You know, we have our everyday people that comes in, you know.
See, I always say that every job, even if you lose that job, you've learned something from it. So you gain more and more skills. So, you know, going from this job, I learned something. I go to that job, I learned something. And it sounds like the same thing for you. Is
Yeah.
you worked a cashier at McDonald's, which is kind of stressful.
Yeah, I know. I didn't last long at McDonald's.
No,
That was
okay.
back in the day. Like, no, you cannot pay me $1 million to work at a
Yeah.
McDonald's. No.
So behind the counter issues or customer issues?
Customers.
Yeah.
Because you get all kind of attitudes.
Yeah.
Believe me, I learned that when I used to work. I worked at a Burger King in Lorton for off and on 4 years.
Right.
But just it's the Lorton. It was the Lorton by the prison.
That's a good neighborhood.
You dealt with all kind of attitudes, and you know, and it's just I try not to bring out my attitude. My biggest problem sometimes is I don't know I'm doing it. My eyes, they roll a lot,
Okay.
and I don't know half the time I'm doing it, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So,
Well.
I've been called out that on several different jobs I was at, you know? But it's hard to control, you know?
Okay.
I don't mean to do it, it's just a habit, I guess. I don't know,
Right.
you know? It's just,
I get nervous, I make jokes.
yeah.
It's inappropriate sometimes. Funerals and stuff like that. So you came here, you're working here. How have your disabilities affected you here? Are you, you say reading and writing, do you have issues here with reading and writing?
I don't have a lot of issues here because we don't do a lot of reading here except when we have our meetings or whatever, and
Right.
usually she explains everything.
Okay, so,
But I do have anxiety too. Like sometimes if we get along a line and I'm the only one there, and I get my anxiety goes up a little bit because I'm like, I see this long line and I kind of freak out a little bit, you know?
right. Yeah, I worked at 84 Lumber, and we would get really, really busy on Saturday, and there'd be people lined up. And it's like, I knew one guy, he would come over, run over, and jumped up on the counter, and he says, "Who's next?" And it was
Right.
just like, how do you do that? But
Right.
I would say, you know, all right, we're getting this done, we're gonna get to you next, and you know, just kind of acknowledge
sometimes
it.
It's hard. You know?
Kind of acknowledge that the line's there and let them know that you do know that they're there. You're not
Yeah.
just, because I know at sheets they'll just kind of ignore you. They'll look and it's like,
I know.
so anyway,
I don't, especially the sheets down here.
yeah.
Normal
Norma
sheets.
and Norma in the morning. Yeah.
They're making a brand new one across the street. You see that?
Yeah, can't wait.
I know, right?
Parking's really bad. Trying to get in.
Oh, I know. I'm scared to go into that one. I got to go there next to go get gas.
Yeah, I park at the gas pumps so I can get in and out. So I'll just park at the pump, go
Right.
inside, and then come back out and go.
A lot of people do that, but I don't do that. I think that's kind of ignorant a little bit, you know?
All right.
What if somebody has to come and get gas and you're parked there or whatever, not getting gas? But
I didn't know you were mean.
I don't try to be mean. It's just like,
No, I don't take long. I just get a drink and
yeah.
go. All right, so you're here. You had the struggles in Northern Virginia. You came up here. You worked at a couple jobs up here, like Walmart and anywhere else. Did you work at Home Depot?
Home Depot, yeah, and
Anywhere?
that was in Winchester.
Oh, Winchester. Okay, so you've been around the area then.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in Shepherdstown?
I've been, well, I was staying with somebody for a year and a half.
Okay.
And I moved out of there in June this year and went to Inwood. I live in Inwood now, but now I have a housing voucher. I can get out of my lease where I'm at though, but it's just so hard to find anything.
Yeah, it's really expensive. My wife works for a real estate company in town, and she does the rentals, and the rentals are so expensive because all the mortgages are going up. So it's almost as expensive as buying a house and paying for a house instead of just having an apartment.
Martinsburg, I have like 1,090, and Jefferson, that's the housing allowance because you can't go over that. Your rent and your bills cannot go over that. So I'm having a hard time finding a place, and I have 2 dogs, and I really don't want to get in the apartment.
So you're just gonna stay under 1,000. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Most things I've seen are 1,700. Yeah. Okay, so you've worked with other agencies. Did Christy get you in touch with the other agencies, or did you search?
No,
for
I
those?
did that myself,
Okay.
and I knew some people or whatever.
Okay.
It's just like I was lucky to get into those places.
Yeah. In with the agencies or in?
With the agencies,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
because I've tried to get into Lowe's, but when they came, they grade you on all these questions they ask you. They grade you on it,
Right.
and if you don't do good enough, they don't hire you at Lowe's. Because I don't know if I can get back into Home Depot.
Right. You left on good standing with Home Depot?
Yes and no, because I was there for 3 years.
Okay.
And this one manager, he had it out for me, but he no longer works for Home Depot now because you got your shrinkage in your other thing, I forget what it is though, but at Home Depot. But the biggest shrinkage of the store is the molding, like the shoe, like that.
Right.
Frames and that.
Yeah.
A lot of times I didn't measure the molding stuff, but a lot of times I took the customer's word for it, because they always say customers always right. Because sometimes I'm the only one up there, didn't have time, I got a line, and a lot of times I didn't measure it because Home Depot has this
The big pole up there. that
big
has
pole,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
or you can use your ruler. So I got in trouble with that a lot of times. So, just taking a customer's word.
Right. So then,
So I got fired for that.
Oh.
Like 10, 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Because they let me go in 2010.
Okay.
And it was kind of hard to find jobs after that because I'm like, you can't fire me. There's nothing out here pays this well,
Yeah.
I have insurance and stuff like that. I was doing pretty good until I got fired from there.
Yeah.
I'm always struggling. And I tried to get disability, and they said, they don't do learning disability as a disability or something like that.
Not the most understanding group. Well, but you're here now, so that's good. And they understand. I think Goodwill understands difficulties, the disabilities, and that whole thing, removing barriers and creating opportunities. That means something. It's not just a tagline that we use. It actually means something. So you've been here. You've been a cashier for 9 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like what you're doing?
Yeah, I like what I'm doing. Sometimes it can be like overwhelming at times.
Oh, sure. Okay. What do you see yourself continuing with this?
Yeah, wants to do full time on the floor.
Right. You want to?
Yeah, but they say that the people on the floor don't have full time no more.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're a manager or something, because I don't think I could do a manager.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't handle the retail much. I
Yeah,
come down as
retail doesn't get full time unless you're like a manager type person.
Oh, okay. But if they did open up full time, would you?
Yeah.
You want to do full time?
Yeah. I
Do you
need
work
to.
somewhere else?
No,
Okay.
because I'm tired.
Okay.
You
How many
know?
hours do you get?
I get 29 hours a week.
Okay, so that's
you know
right there.
how hard that is to live
Yeah.
off of 29 hours a week.
Right.
Pay's not that bad.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
No
I
problem.
just need to get something personal.
Sure.
I need this. And I need,
That's your phone.
yeah.
And you had a giggle or something?
Yeah, you had a giggle.
Somebody texted me then. I need this. Alright. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, I think it got it. Okay, so I'd love to get more hours. That would help.
Yeah,
Help a lot.
because I can work. See, my hours. I asked if I could have like morning hours because of I'm blind as a bat when I drive at night.
Mm.
So, and it's getting darker
Right.
sooner now, you know.
Right.
So
And you still gotta go down to Inwood.
yeah, it's like 30-minute drive.
Just trying to think of what else. So where do you see yourself in, say, 3 or 4 years?
I don't know.
Yeah. As I was asking the question, I was thinking, let's just do 1 year at a time.
I do not know. I don't have any goals.
Yeah.
Because every time I make goals, they go down the drain. So I go day by day.
Yeah. Trying to think of else. When from the other positions that you see here, what else do you think you could do?
Maybe the donation thing, maybe.
Okay. And that's just because it's more of, taking this and putting it there
Yeah.
without having to read anything or, write
Right.
anything down. Yeah, okay.
Like when the donations comes in,
Right.
Fern.
Right. Yeah, she's the main person up there.
Yeah, when the donations come in.
Okay.
Because doing the other with the clothing and stuff, I don't think I'm fast enough to do that.
So there's some physical issues as well?
Yeah, because I had carpal tunnel operation. They thought I had it in my elbow too, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I'm never going to go through that again. Eventually I need to get my left done, but no.
Yeah.
No.
How old are your kids?
I have a 32-year-old son, and I have a soon-to-be 16 next week on 11th daughter.
Okay. Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Trying to think of what else we could talk about. So when you worked with Christy up in Martinsburg, how did you get there? You just drove?
No, I didn't have a license at the time, so Jobs and Hope, Erin, she got me up there and back with she paid for the lift
No, okay.
for me.
Okay. So then you were
It
there.
was cold. Cold.
So then you were there. You did training. It was
Week training there, and then I came here training.
Okay. So what do they do there at the mission office? Because there's not a whole lot. It was...
Boring. Looking at, doing different stuff,
Yeah.
like exercises or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of exercises?
Um,
Any physical exercises?
no,
Oh, okay.
on the computer you got to do like questionnaires. That was like a questionnaires or
Yeah.
things you had to read and stuff like that. And instead of, I didn't like doing the computer thing at home, so that's why I went up to the store.
Okay.
Because Chrissy could, if I was having trouble, she could answer things for me or whatever.
Yeah. Well, she's working in HR now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's working with a lot of people now. Not just at that office. Just about anybody who comes on board, she's working with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So she's up there where I'm working. I'm up in Hagerstown. So then you got started down here. They started you as a cashier.
Mm-hmm.
They is the register easy for you, or yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they try to make it as easy as possible. And making change isn't an issue. It tells you exactly what to do. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the loyalty program that's coming on board? They have a little card, and you get so many points for every dollar that you spend. Yeah,
What?
it's coming on board. Yeah, don't worry about that. They'll train you about that. And then the Roundup program.
Yeah, I asked a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, they would give you a lot of pushback about that, or
Well, at first I didn't really do it, because I get tongue tied a lot, and I do have a vocabulary problem, pronouncing words and stuff, and sometimes I get it, I say it, but I get it sometimes backwards.
right.
Yeah,
It's okay. Well, the anxiety plays into that too.
Yeah, because a lot of people already knows, like, oh, okay, I will round up.
Mm-hmm.
I ask a lot of, just about everybody comes to my register, I do ask, or they say no thank you, and they say, well, what is it for? And I said, well, it's through it's a job, help with the local job program. I went through it.
Mm-hmm.
I went through it back in January, and I'm still, I'm a regular employee now.
If we had cards with some response, the question, what they say, and then your response, would that help?
Probably, yeah.
Because then you get used to it. It would be written right there at the register, and then it's like the top 5 answers that they give you, or what's it for? What does it do for the community? Does it stay here?
Yeah, a lot of people. Some people come in here, CEO. He gets all the money.
Right.
It doesn't go nowhere.
Right.
It just goes into his pocket, like.
Yeah. We've been fighting that for a long time.
Yeah, like you get some of those rude people, and you don't know what to really say.
Right. Yeah, your donations.
I'm sorry, you.
These donations are all free, and you're charging this much for them.
Yeah.
So we've got to teach people about what we do, and I'm trying to. That's part of the job I got to do.
Right.
So, but there's a lot of myths out there. They always say Mark Curran's your CEO, and he makes $2 million a year.
Yeah.
We've never had a Mark Curran work for us.
Some Chris or something.
Yeah. So then there's
really
$2 million a year. No, that's not true. There's 156 different Goodwill Industries groups around the world, and they're not making anything like $2 million a year.
Right.
So
we hear every single day, this is the nicest store around.
That's great.
With Charlestown and Martinsburg.
Right.
We always, every single day, we get complimented on our store.
Very good.
Because we work hard in this store to make it look nice.
Right. Well, tell them go on Google and do those reviews.
Right.
Do you use Yammer? Do you get on Yammer? It's an app that we use to communicate with all the employees.
I never heard of it.
Okay. And we need to do a better job about that as well. We use that as the celebration part, the center one for the values, that to celebrate things. Like, so if there's a Google review that comes through, it says it's 4 stars, I put it out there so Winchester sees it, and Charlestown sees it, and Shepherdstown sees it.
Yeah, I went to the I went to all the stores around. I even went to the Winchester store here a while back ago,
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago. It's cluttery.
Yeah.
Very, very cluttery. And so is the one in Martinsburg and Charlestown. They're bigger stores than us.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like, wow, it's like, you go into those stores and then you're so used to my store and like, oh my gosh, this is hideous.
Yeah.
And there's like not a lot of room to go down certain aisles.
Well, maybe if we get big enough that there's a set, like a planogram for each of the aisles. This is what it's supposed to look like in the clothing. This is what it's supposed to look like in the glassware, the knickknacks. Then that's something you might like, because you know this doesn't look right, or this needs to be set up this way. You know, that's a skill in itself, and I think you've learned that from Home Depot, and because every Home Depot is supposed to look exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
some of them aren't.
So we're working on that, getting the front doors cleaned up and getting all those papers off of it, and getting signage on the front desks. So yeah. Okay.
The store came a long way since I've been here.
Really? That's good. That's good. Chris is the director of retail. You see him. And Vicky's your.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't talk to her that much, but she does.
Yeah. So she handles a bunch of the stores. So she's really trying to get things straightened out and get things better and better at each of the stores. We had some trouble with Kaiser out in West Virginia that they had some really bad issues. So she was out there working on that, almost rehiring and retraining a ton of people just to get things straightened out.
I think, this is my opinion, what some employees, she hires sometimes a lot of college students. Here, we went through a lot of people here lately. I think she might need to hire a little bit older people because it will stay.
Well, we're trying to get the pay scale up higher.
Yeah, when is that going to happen?
Well, we're based on Maryland.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to go to 15 an hour in 2025, I want to say, 2025. But 15, so when we're at 11, where we used to be 8.
Yeah.
I went to Greenville, South Carolina, they pay $7.25. But then they're looking for 160 people too, so that's what happens.
Is there any way that maybe we can get a little bit of raise?
Yeah, it all comes down to the donations, how many donations we get and what we sell, because that's got to build up the revenue for what we're trying to do. So
Right.
it's all part. You try to get as many people to come in with the donations, so we can sell those things. We get grants from different locations, different agencies, and that helps to go to pay for some of the mission services that we do. So the better our budget is, the better we'll have to do it.
Yeah, best days sometimes is on Sundays.
Yeah. Well, just something to open my eyes is that with us having about 500 employees, that to raise salaries $1 is almost $1 million.
Wow.
So we have to get $1 million every year to raise it another $1 and another $1. So then it's another $1 million. So it's
right. So maybe next year, like January, February, we might get a raise.
Maybe. I'm not. That's not me.
Right.
I make pretty pictures and banners and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's always a concern. We're trying and trying. I know they work on that. And they look through the numbers, trying to figure out how to do things. The marketing budget's very limited because we don't want to spend a lot on that. So we try to be as creative as possible. So the ribbon cutting was an idea to get people to come in. We spent money on the new signage to try to make it look a little nicer. So let's celebrate the ribbon. So that's what we're doing that for. Well, I think we've got enough to write an article. I won't be writing it. My partner Chris will be writing it. So hopefully this is enough information. But if I need to talk to you, you'll be back by Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be back Wednesday.
Okay.
If, I might have to call in Wednesday. I'm not sure because I don't know how it's going to make me feel after.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different, I guess, with this procedure.
Yeah.
I heard that some people it puts them down
Right.
on a couple extra days or something. I hope not.